Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Let us move on to the exercise here. Okay. A survey was conducted by a group of students as a part of their environment awareness program, in which they collected the following data regarding the number of plants in 20 houses in a locality. Find the mean number of plants per house. This is the number of plants, which is 0 to 2 plants in one household, 2 to 4 plants in 2 households. So first of all, what I'll do is I'll obtain my class mark here. Lower limit plus upper limit by 2, which is 0 plus 2 by 2, that is 1. 6 by 2 is 3, 10 by 2 5, 14 by 2 7, 9, 11 and 13. So this will give me my xi. Number of houses is my fi, right? So what is sigma fi? 3 plus 2 5 plus 6 11, 16, 17 and 3 20. So sigma fi is 20. And what is fi xi? fi xi. So 1, 6, 5, 35, 54, 22, 39. So what will be sigma fi xi? It will be equal to 39 plus 1 is 40, 40 plus 6 is 46, 51, 56, 86, 90, 140, 162. So sigma fi xi is 162. So mean number of plants per house is equal to sigma fi xi 162 divided by sigma fi, that is 20, which is equal to 8.1. So they have got 8.1 number of plants per house, right? So it is not possible for the plant, for to be 8.1 in a house, but this gives you the idea. This gives you the mean number of plants per house, right? It is approximately 8, you can say, or exactly 8.1, right? So this was about this question. Let us look at this question here. Consider the following distribution of daily wages of 50 workers of a factory, right? So daily wages in rupees are given by these classes here, 100 to 120, 120 to 140. So we will look for the class mark here. Class mark or xi for this class will be 110. For this one it will be 130, 150 for this one, 170, 190 for this one, right? Now this data is a little bigger, so to make it smaller we will subtract something suitable from these. So let us make a column for di. So di is xi minus the assumed mean, which in this case I am assuming 150. Okay. So let us subtract 150 from each of these. So it will give you minus 40, it will give you minus 20, it will give you 0, 20 and 40 here, right, which can further be simplified by dividing by 10. So let me calculate ui, which is xi minus 150 by 10, right. So if I divide it by 10, it will give me minus 4, it will give me minus 2, 0, 2 and this will give me 4. Now fi ui. You got an idea? I am using the step deviation method in this. So fi ui, this is the frequency, 12 into minus 4 is minus 48, 14 into minus 2 is minus 28, 8 into 0 is 0, 6 into 2 12, 10 into 4 is 40, right. So 40 minus 48 will give you minus 8, minus 8 plus 12 will give you plus 4, plus 4 minus 28 will give you minus 24. So sigma fi ui is minus 24, and what is sigma fi? It is 50, right? So the mean daily wages will be equal to, what is the formula? H into sigma fi ui divided by sigma fi plus a. What is h? The number that we are dividing this di, right? We are dividing by 10, so h is 10. What is a? A is the assumed mean that we subtracted from each of the entries, which is 150. So 10 into minus 24 divided by this 50 plus a. A we took as 150. A is the assumed mean, right? So this will give you 5 here minus 4.8 plus this is 150, right? So 150 minus 4.8 will give you 150 minus 5 would have given you 145. So it will give you 145.2. What is this? This is the daily wages. So we are calculating mean daily wages, so the unit will be in rupees. In this chapter I will write the means, you write the unit yourself, whatever is the unit. Let us say in this question we are calculating daily wages in rupees, so the answer that I write will be in rupees, 145.2 rupees. The following distribution shows the daily pocket allowance of children of a locality. The mean pocket allowance is rupees 18. Find the missing frequency. Now this time we are already given with mean, which is 18, right? This is the frequency fi, and this is given in the form of classes, so we will have to make this table for class mark, which will give us our xi. So lower limit plus upper limit, which will give you 24 by 2, 12. So 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, right? So these are the class marks. Now what we can do is we can assume a certain, in this question we are lucky that we are already given a mean which is 18, right? So if I take it as my assumed mean and calculate di here, so xi minus 18, it will give me minus 6, minus 4, minus 2, 0, 2, 4 and 6 here, right? Now to calculate mean I need fi di, which is minus 42, minus 24, minus 18, 0, and here 2 into f, so 2f, and we need to find this f, right? So 5 into 4 is 20, 6 into 4 is 24. What is this? This is fi di, and x bar is nothing but sigma fi di divided by sigma fi plus a, which in this case is 18. Okay. Now look at sigma fi di. 24 minus 24, so it became 0. 20 minus 18, which will give me 2. 42 is negative, 2 is positive, so minus 40, and this will give me 2f. So 2f minus 40 is my sigma fi di. So 2f minus 40 here divided by sigma fi, which is the number of children, right? Which is 7 plus 6, 13 plus 13, 26. 26 plus 9 is 35, 40, 44 plus f. So it is 44 plus f here, and you need to add 18 in it, right? So look at this, x bar is equal to this, right, which is already given. x bar is 18, right? So 2f minus 40 by 44 plus f plus 18, so it will make it 0 here. Hence 2f minus 40 by 44 plus f is 0, which makes this numerator 2f minus 40 0. So 2f is equal to 40, hence f is 20. So the missing frequency here is 20. So the missing frequency is 20. All right. "30 women were examined in a hospital by a doctor, and the number of heartbeats per minute were recorded and summarized as below. Find the mean heartbeats per minute for these women, choosing a suitable method." So number of heartbeats per minute are given in these classes, and the frequency or number of women are given by this row here, right? So first step is to find the class marks or xi, which is lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So this will give me 66.5. This will give me 69.5. This will give me 72.5. So it is differing by 3. So it will give me 75.5, 78.5, 81.5, 84.5. Right. So these are the class marks that I have. Now you can notice that these are difficult to calculate. So if you want to calculate Fi xi, it will be a little difficult. So let me assume a mean A as, let us say, 75.5. So I will calculate di, which is xi minus A. A in this case is 75.5. So what will be di? 75.5. If you subtract from this, that means 66 minus 75, which will give you minus 9, right? And 75.5 when subtracted from this will give you minus 6. When subtracted from this will give you minus 3. This 0. 75.5 if you subtract from 78.5 will give you 3. Here you will have 6. Here you will have 9. Right. So these are the deviations or value of di. Now it is easy for me to calculate Fi di. Or further, if you want to simplify it, you look for a suitable number which divides all these numbers here, and you can calculate ui. That means I am using step deviation method. So I need to divide it by a suitable number h. H in this case can be taken as 3. So this will give me minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now it became a little simpler. Now I need to calculate Fi ui, which is 2 into minus 3 minus 6, 4 into minus 2 minus 8, minus 3, 0, 7, 8, 6, right? And sigma Fi ui is equal to, so this 6 will be adjusted with this 8, with this 8, 7 minus 3 is 4. So sigma Fi ui is 4, and what is sigma Fi? It is equal to 4 plus 2 6, 13, 21, 24, 28 and 2 30. So this is equal to 30. Otherwise also we knew that these are 30 women, so we directly should know that sigma Fi will be equal to 30. Now the formula. So x bar is equal to h multiplied with sigma fi ui by sigma fi plus a, where a is assumed mean, h is the number which with we divided it. So, let me define ui directly. Ui is equal to xi minus a divided by h, right. So, x bar is equal to h in this case was 3 into sigma fi ui in this case was 4, and we have to divide it by 30. Then finally, we will add a, which in our case is 75.5. Okay, so this will give me my answer, which is 10. So, it will make it 0.4. So, it is 75.9. So, this will be the mean of this data. Right, 75.9 is the mean of this data, and I demonstrated the step deviation method in this particular question. Now, in a retail market, fruit vendors were selling mangoes kept in packing boxes. These boxes contained various number of mangoes. The following was the distribution of mangoes according to the number of boxes. There are 15 boxes which have number of mangoes between 50 to 52. 110 boxes are such in which mangoes are between 53 to 55. So, this is the frequency, and for the xi, what I need to find is class mark or xi, which is the mean of these two numbers, upper limit and lower limit. So, which is 51, and mean of these is 54, 57, 60, 63. So, this is the class mark. Now, I know these numbers are big, and these have to be multiplied with even bigger numbers. So, let me shorten these numbers by using assumed mean method or step deviation method. So, let us first of all try to subtract a certain number from these and see whether we can simplify it. So, if I calculate di by subtracting, let us say 57, let us assume 57 to be our mean. So, a, which is 57 in this case. So, if I subtract 57 from 51, it will give me minus 6, it will give me minus 3 here, 0, 3 here, and 6 here. Now, this data is pretty simple, but we can further simplify it by dividing this di by, let us say 3 in this case. So, xi minus a by h we are taking as 3. So, this will give me minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So, these numbers are now pretty simple, right. So, this is the power of step deviation method here. Now, fi ui, (15 minus 2 minus 30), 110 minus 1 minus 110, 135 into 0 is 0, 115 into 1 is 115, 25 into 2 is 50. Now, look at the sum sigma fi ui. Look at these numbers, 115 minus 110. So, 5 positive, 5 plus 50 is 55 positive, 55 minus 30 is 25. So, sigma fi ui is 25. This is how simple this calculation will become. What is sigma fi? Sigma fi is equal to 115 plus 25 is 140, 175, 275, 285, 385, 390, 400. So, sigma fi is 400. Hence, the mean that we want here is h multiplied with sigma fi ui divided by sigma fi plus, then we add a. What is h? H is 3. into what is sigma fi ui? It is 25. What is sigma fi? We just calculated it as 400. And what was a? A was 57 in this case. So we'll add 57 finally. Okay, so this will give me 75 by 400 plus 57, and 75 by 4 is how much? $18.75. So 18.75 when divided by 4, and then there are these two zeros. So 1, this is decimal, 1875 plus 57. So it will be 57.1875, and this is the mean. Okay, mean number of mangoes kept in each packing box, right? So which method did we choose? We chose the step deviation method here, right? Because we found it simpler. This is the daily expenditure on food of 25 household in a locality. So obviously this, if this is fi, then sigma fi is 25. I am making the table here itself so that I use lesser space. Okay. Now to calculate xi, I will have to calculate class mark first of all, which will act as my xi. Now xi is just the average of these two, right, which will be 125 in this case, 175 here, 225 here, 275 here, and 325 here. These are big numbers, right? So rather than dealing with these numbers, we will, let us say, calculate di by subtracting a suitable number, which in this case may be 225. So let's subtract 225 from each of these. This will become minus 100, minus 50, 0, 50, and this will become 100. Now I'll further divide it by, let us say, 50 to make these numbers even smaller. So I'll calculate ui by dividing these numbers by 50. So this will become minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, right? So what I am doing here, I am using the step deviation method, right? So for that I will calculate sigma. For first of all, I will calculate fi ui, right? What is fi? 4, and ui minus 2, so minus 8, 5, minus 1, minus 5, 12 into 0 is 0, 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4. So what will be sigma fi ui? 4 plus 2, 6, 6 minus 5 is 1, 1 minus 8 is minus 7. So sigma fi ui is negative 7, right? Now the formula, h into sigma fi ui by sigma fi plus a. What is h? The number with which we divided here, which is 50. 50 into, what is sigma fi ui? Minus 7. Sigma fi 25 plus, what was a? A is the number which we assumed as our mean and subtracted from xi, right? It was 225. So we add it finally here. So this will give you 2 minus 14, 225 minus 14 will give you 211. So this will be your answer for the mean daily expenditure on food. And which method did we use? We used the step deviation method. In this question here, the data looks very simple, so we don't have to use any other method. So we will directly go by the direct method. So this is the class distribution, hence what is the class mark? We will denote it by xi. This is the average of these two numbers, so it is 0.02, 0.06, 0.10, right? This is 0.14, 0.18, 0.22, right? And this is the frequency. So this is Fi. Now I'll talk about Fi xi here. 4 into 2 is 8, so it will be 0.08. 9 into 6 is 54, so 0.54. This is 0.90. This is 0.28. This is 0.72 and 0.44 here, right? So what will be sigma Fi xi? It will be the sum of these, which will be 4 plus 2 6 plus 8 14 and 4 18 plus 8 26, so 6 here, 7 9 16 18 25 29, so it will be 2.96 sigma Fi xi, right? What will be sigma Fi? We already know that we are talking about 30 localities here, so the sum of these will be 30. You may check it. 4 plus 2 6 plus 2 8 12 and 18 30, right? So the mean concentration of SO2 will be equal to sigma Fi xi divided by sigma Fi here, which is 2.96 by 30, right? And it is equal to 3 9s are 27, so it will be equal to 0.099 approximately, right? So this is the mean concentration of SO2 in the air. So let us look at the next question here. A class teacher has following absentee record of 40 students of a class for the whole term. Find the mean number of days a student was absent. So number of days, 11 students were absent is 0 to 6. 10 students were absent for 6 to 10 days, right? So we will look for class mark here, class mark or xi, and this is our Fi, right? So sum of these upper limit and lower limit and divided by 2, 3, this will give us 8, this will give us 12, this is 10 plus 14, that is 24, 24 divided by 2 is 12. Now 14 plus 20 is 34, divided by 2 is 17, this will give you 48 divided by 2 24, 28 38. So there is a difference of 10 here, right? So this will be 33. Now look at the difference, right? Difference is of 10. Now if you divide it by 2 and you get 5 here. So if you add 5 here or subtract 5 from it, it will give you the mean of these numbers, which is 33. Now what do I mean by this? That this is the mean of these two numbers, 28 and 38. So it will be equidistant from these numbers. It will be 5 plus 28 or 38 minus 5. Alright. So 38 and 40. So 39 will be the class mark for us. Now these are not very big numbers. What we can do is we can go by direct method. So let me calculate Fi xi here. 33. This is 80. 84. 17 into 4. 17 into 2 is 34. 34 double is 68. 24 96. This is 99. 39. So what is sigma Fi xi? It is equal to, this will give you, let us first of all look at these numbers only, 30 and 90, 120 and 90, 210, 270, 350, 430, 460. Now look at these numbers, 3, 4, 7 plus 8, 15 plus 6, 21, 30, 39. So you add 39 in it. So it will give you 499. So sigma fi xi is 499. What is sigma fi? It is equal to 40, because we are talking about 40 students here. Or you can look at the sum here. 3 plus 1, 4 plus 4, 8, 12, 19, 20, 30, 40. So this is equal to 40. Hence, what I can say is the mean is equal to sigma fi xi divided by sigma fi, that is 499 divided by 40, which will give me my x bar for this question. So this is the mean number of days the students were absent. Now you calculate it yourself, okay? Or let me do it for you. This would have been 124.75 if this 0 was not there, so it is equal to 12.475, right? So this is your final answer. Now this following table gives the literacy rate of 35 cities, and it is in percentage. Literacy rate in percentage. Find the mean literacy rate. First step, to find class mark or xi. So what is the difference? 10. So 5, if you add in this, you will get 50. Again 10 difference, so 60, 70. Or what you can do is you can add lower limit and upper limit, then divide by 2. Right? This will give you 80, this will give you 90. Right? Now let me calculate di by subtracting 70 from each of these numbers. So it will give me minus 20 here, minus 10, 0, 10, 20, and I'll further calculate the ui by dividing di by 10. Right? So this will give me minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. Now FIUI, so frequency is 3 into 2, minus 2 is minus 6, 10 into minus 1 is minus 10, this will give you 0, this will give you 8 and 6 here. So sigma FIUI is the sum of these entries. 8 plus 6 is 14, 14 minus 10 is 4, 4 minus 6 is minus 2. And what is sigma Fi? That is the number of cities. 3 plus 8, 11, 11 plus 11, 22, 32, 35. Right? Hence, the mean literacy rate or x bar in this case will be equal to h into sigma Fi ui divided by sigma Fi plus a. H we had taken as 10 and a was 70. So 10 into minus 2 divided by 35 plus 70, right? So this is 5 2s are 10, 7s are minus 4 by 7 plus 70, right? Now you can further simplify it like this: 0.57 with a negative sign plus 70, right? This is the approximate calculation. So this is 0.5 only, right? So 69 point something will be your answer. 100 minus 57 is what? 43. So 69.43 is approximately the literacy rate, and this is in percent. So 69.43% is the mean literacy rate, right? So this was it for this exercise here. Now we will do some of the extra questions based on this exercise in the next lecture, right?